Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game! It's all about the game, and how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. And who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me. I am control, no way you can shake me. I am heavy debt, no way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me. Look over your shoulder, ready to run like a Cleveland bench from a smoking gun. I am the game, and I make the rules. So move on out, you can die like a fool. Try to figure out what my move's gonna be. Come on over, sucker, why don't you ask me? Don't you forget there's a price you can pay. 'Cause I am the game and I want to play. Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about control. And if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about the pain. Who's gonna make it? I am the game. You don't wanna play me. I am control. There's no way you can shake me. I am your debt, and you know you can.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, March 22nd, 2022. That's got to be something. 32222. I guess it's
2222 was a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Peter, for playing that lovely music before.
That's your penance for being late.
Yeah. So
It's now standard procedure.
Yes.
everybody suffers. Everybody suffers.
No, I wake everybody up.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody suffers.
That's a wrestling entrance theme, you know.
What is it?
That's a wrestler's entrance theme.
I don't doubt it.
And now we're starting a wrestling show on here on WCPC.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
You mean live wrestling?
No, we're going to talk about pro wrestling.
Who's doing that?
Rob Goff and a retired local pro wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Can't be-
So
Hey,
you
listen,
have to go to the games in order to to talk about it.
The matches. No, we're gonna do it right out of the studio. We're gonna talk about WrestleMania is coming up in about a week or so. The first, it is April 3rd and 4th, I believe.
Yes, I know that, and because
you do know that
because Jason Pullen, who is our
second
event manager, is puts it together.
Is he working on it this year?
Yep.
He got hired in for that.
Yep.
So he is in Dallas, Texas.
That's exactly right.
That is the site of WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, you can run into him at the Access.
Yeah, he's at WrestleMania Access, I'm sure. Yeah, I remember him saying that he put that together.
Yeah,
That's going to be a heck of a show because it's during the pandemic they went to 2 nights, and they decided to keep that format. They can get more matches in and obviously get more subscribers now. They don't do pay-per-views anymore, Bob.
Oh,
that's become passé. Since they went to the WWE Network and then that got sold to Peacock, the Peacock streaming service, they now do what they call premium events. So if you have Peacock Premium, you get the events for free.
Oh, I noticed that. Yeah, I don't think I have Peacock Premium. I have Peacock.
Subscription model.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like everything else. I mean, even the software that I use to edit, Adobe. Used to be able to buy it. They'd come out with a new version like every year or two.
Right.
Now it's you pay monthly. It's software by subscription.
Software by subscription.
Now it's content by subscription.
Well, here's content by subscription. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Like how I set you up?
March 22nd, 2022. My name is Bob Plass. This is the Westfield and Weekend Show. For everything Westfield and Weekends, go to westfieldandweekends.com or on our Facebook. And to my right is my permanent, temporary substitute host and my personal assistant, Ricardo Berry.
Boy, I've got a long list of...
Yeah, you have. And I didn't
Duties.
even put the letters at the end of your name.
That means he's setting you up for something.
Is it SMH?
I know, yeah, whatever. No, stop that. No, what he was referring to is St. Mary's High, and he's very proud, and I'm very proud, and it just goes to show that they do a really good job. A really good job.
He knows how to spell.
Yes, exactly right. And there's Peter Coles, our trusty, dusty, I haven't used that phrase in a long time, trusty, dusty, crusty producer in the booth there. Or
I'll take
in the
it.
Center Square, whatever.
I'm in the Center Square.
Okay, so here's the deal. It was the reason I was late. And I wasn't that late, but I was late. I should be here at 5 of, or maybe 10 of, or maybe quarter of, or maybe a half hour before so that we could discuss the program or whatever.
5 of is plenty, Bob.
Yeah, okay. Just like Kelly and Ryan, where you just walk into the studio and just like Frank Sinatra. He walked in, he just sang it, and that's that.
Right.
And then he
Kelly
started.
and Ryan are there.
No, that's not the way it worked. I
3
made
hours
that
before.
up. Yeah. I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I left Dunkin' Donuts. I was 5-7 minutes away. I was going to be perfectly here. And then I got to the light, and I waited for this gentleman to go in front of me. And he went in front of me, and then I watched him as he kind of like went into the line in the center of the street. And he went back and forth a bit, and I said, geez, I think I better be careful here. He may have had one too many at 6 in the morning, and
Bob's getting cocked and ready.
Man, oh man. So I was reticent a little bit of getting too close to him, but whatever. So we get to the light at Noble Hospital, and it's a blinking yellow light. Okay, and for about 2 minutes, he stood there, and he stood there, and he stood there, and there was not one traffic car. Not one traffic car was on either side for 2 solid minutes. What do you do, Rick?
You hit the horn.
I went, and how do you hit the horn? Let's hear your horn hit. Go ahead.
First of all, I'll give him a warning, just a quick beep. And then if they don't move, it's
Oh, well.
If they don't move for me, they do.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I'm here somewhere in
Or you
between.
flash the lights, your height.
I went beep, 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 That's what I went.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Okay. So then I noticed there was a dog going. So that gets the dog in the back seat all riled up. And the dog is going back and forth now. All right. So then there's another light, very far, close.
Yeah.
My surprise.
What was this? Yeah. Wait, at the light at Noble Hospital on Court Street. Okay. We wait another half minute or so. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. It's a flashing red light. So I'll give him that thing. And there was
Okay.
still there's been no traffic any time during the
Flashing red light, you stop
Okay,
and then
all right.
proceed with caution.
Okay. All right. So I thought maybe he will turn. Because when he went to make the turn, he went far out. And then all of a sudden out the window came a hand. And at the end of the hand was not what you think, the finger wasn't there, but was it was a waving hand. Okay.
Really?
Okay. And I thought, geez, it's one of my friends, and they were playing a trick on me.
Right.
Not so. He went further down the street than I was going into. Instead of taking the turn, he went straight across. Okay. Down all the way to, what's that? King
Street.
King Street.
Yeah.
At King Street, he waited just a bit, maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Put the light on to let me know and went that
Yeah,
way. All right.
Oh, so
Then I had
so you annoyed him, and he was just out for a ride. And,
Returning the favor.
yes.
Yes, I had no, what would be your immediate instinct when he took that turn off the, first I thought through the whole experience, this guy is going to get out of the car, and that's a German Shepherd, and I'm going to be killed.
Hey Bob, here's my reaction.
But check. What is
No.
that?
You don't know what that is?
No.
That's a cocking of a pump shotgun.
Oh my God. Well,
So my reaction would be what?
That ratchets up my tension level.
I can't say the words on air, or I'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a delay, and
Yeah.
you know what? So what a blankety blank blank blank.
Yes, you would swear out loud.
Yes.
And would you then do one of those trains passing sounds?
Oh no, I would just give him the wave.
Give him a wave with a complete wave, or
Oh, absolutely not.
Table for one?
Table for one.
you blank. Get out of the car and
Yes.
and wave. I should have gotten out of the car and waved and blew him a kiss.
There you go.
That might have been. That would have been it.
All that brass fraction, dirty Naga, hunted and shambles on it.
It-
That gastronomic epicure culinary crepe Suzette.
Oh, I love that.
What was that? What was that one
With
from?
that
That must be a
ending
newer one, yeah.
That's great.
This is the classic one.
Dirty Turkish back flatten, Borton, Philip, Bunker, Barton, Perkaluma, Burton, Whack a frax, whack, back and floated back, car in that car back, there's patent as a trapper, all friggin' pericotta slaughter on a parent, corn, cotton, you rig a pomeranian, fratting, drawing, man, bins, wagging, cotton.
Oh, that's so good because there's no word
can't-
then attached to that,
Right.
right?
Yeah, you can't.
There's no word attached to
They
that.
couldn't swear back then, so Yosemite Sam had to go.
Oh yeah. So at any rate, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right, you got a valid excuse.
Yeah. I hope when he got home, he turns on channel 15 and he hears this story. And if
He's famous.
which camera am I looking at? The one
Straight ahead, number 2.
Number 2. Okay, sir, it wasn't really worth it. It really wasn't worth it. And why not try a little kindness? You know, there may have been a reason why I was beeping because my wife was in labor next to me, and I
Right, that's
needed
not
to
it.
get home, or that I had to go to the bathroom and it would have been all over my car if I hadn't been there, or there was some that I was called to an emergency. Now, think about that the next time you slow up and think globally. Like I thought when you were doing that, I thought that you had taken one too many. You get it?
So, Bob,
Thank
you
you.
both had assumptions about each other.
We both don't ever make assumptions. Don't.
And you did.
Yeah. I know. We all do. Every darn day.
See, when you were
Every
telling
day.
that story, I was thinking of the song Little Nash Rambler.
Oh
going
yes,
beep,
of course.
beep.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
what I was playing,
Yeah.
beep, beep.
No. Oh yeah. That beep beep. That Little Nash. What's that? Big Boys. The
Little
Beach
Nash
Boys.
Rambler.
Yeah, Beach Boys.
No, it was the Playmates.
Oh, the Playmates. Okay, got it.
Beep, beep.
Hey, everybody, you can stick if you stick right through the 2 hours at the 2 hour mark on Kenny's show. I think 2.5 hours or something.
No,
In
it's
Kenny's show, we're doing making
2 hours and 15 minutes. And Rick brought in the belt.
Oh my
The belt
God!
is there, yes.
Oh my God! It's Ken's Den. What do you call it? Making the list today, and if
Yes.
the theme is TV theme song.
Michelle says, you guys better do a good job because she doesn't want that damn thing coming back.
Oh man, I'm
She
telling you
made a
that.
comment about it last night. That was
Oh
funny
really?
as hell.
Oh really? Oh.
She said, do you think Rick will be coming back with the belt? Did she get used to it or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I am the defending champion.
Oh, you are the.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, wait. Okay. So we're gonna do.
Hey,
this
wait a minute. Better yet, we'll have Paul Heyman do it.
Yes.
Defending,
Oh, no.
undisputed, Universal Heavyweight Champion.
Yes. Yeah. You crepe Suzette. You crepe Suzette. So I thought again. Here is one of those things. Are we picking the most iconic song? Are we picking it for the goodness of the song?
I think it's a song that's lived the test of time.
Yeah, and it has to do with the merit of the song itself, because some of the songs that have were originally done for the TV shows are great music songs, right?
Yeah.
But they also have made it on the charts. They've also done. They're also by some good bands, and then there were some others that
just
were the other way around. That they were actually good songs that were used to become TV theme songs.
That's right. And then there are others that never made the hit parade, but are so iconic that you listen to them.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to go, and I don't know whether anybody. I was going to go with the Jeopardy theme.
That would have worked.
Yeah,
That'd work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except it was only 15 seconds long, and in the interest
I
of
think there's-
time,
I
and
think
the
there's
interest
a,
of our program, I don't know.
I think that there's some longer versions of it out there, but you have to find it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Your pick's pretty good, though.
All right, so good. That's all I want to know. Is Rick's kind of lousy so that he might not win that belt?
No, he's got a good shot too.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There was one song that I was actually going to go, and the TV show is actually celebrating its 50th anniversary.
Oh my God.
That's
Coming
probably the
up.
one that I picked.
Oh.
All right, so then I won't.
Nope.
Does it begin with an M?
No.
Oh, okay. Then no, because MASH.
Oh, I love
MASH,
that.
MASH is celebrating their
Mash.
50th anniversary.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I hate that. I love that song,
Yeah.
but I hate its name.
Yes, the name is absolutely horrible.
If you play the lyrics, you're in trouble.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you play the lyrics and listen to the lyrics, it is actually a very sad song.
It is a very sad song.
Terrible.
Yes.
song.
My song.
Wait a
My song.
minute. We have to just in case people don't know what that is. They could Google it, but we'll tell them. Suicide is painless.
Right.
Awful.
Right.
It's
not
a very, very depressing song.
right.
yeah.
Yes.
My song, the song that I'm picked is a series that was big for a long time, and then it went away for a little bit in hiatus, but
Yeah.
always on and repeats all over the world.
Uh-huh.
And then it came back in like 2010, and it's still going to this day. It's been over.
Oh, I just
Almost 55 years.
Can I change my song? I just came up with something.
No.
Another one. Can I?
No, I'm sorry. Your
Yeah,
pick has
yeah,
been
what- is
your
it-
pick has
it's
been registered and
certified.
certified and registered.
No,
by
yours
the-
is a good shot.
Yes.
I
Yours.
know it, but I just came up. Could I pick a sec? Could I could I add 2 because that will make it even more powerful?
No, I'm sorry, sir.
All right.
And we have Michael Buster McMahon joining us this morning.
I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I heard Chef is out.
You know, your song
Steph is out.
Chef.
Chef
John.
is out today. Okay.
your song has been registered by the accounting firm of Dewey Cheatham and Howe.
It's already in my spreadsheet, damn it.
All right. There we go. All right. And if anyone has the one that I just thought of, oh my God, they might get a 10 because it's even better than the one that I had. At any rate, hey, Michael Bublé's got a new album out. This is a second recording for him of this, maybe even a third, because he did it with Tony Bennett. And I like it a lot because it's bright and cheerful, et cetera, et cetera. And I need to be bright and cheerful. I've had a bout of stress, worry, and anxiety that we'll talk about maybe. So here's Michael Bublé. Don't get around much anymore. Maybe that's why I'm stressed, worried, and anxious. At any rate, there we go.
Missed the Saturday dance, heard they crowded the floor, couldn't bear it without you, don't get around much anymore, thought I'd visit the club, got as far as the door, they'd have asked me about you, don't get around much anymore. Oh, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. All right, Ridley, go for it. My mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. I can't bear it without you. Don't get around much anymore.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is March 22nd, 2022. I was going 2020.
2000?
Yeah, that was my a lisp here. I'll try it again. March 22nd, 2022.
Hike.
22. Hey, I should have done it like William Shatner because it's International Talk Like William Shatner Day.
It's March 22nd. 2022.
Rick?
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Thank you.
Peter, come on now. Can't we do better?
Yes. Straighten up.
We're terrible.
Lyra. Yeah, where no man has ever gone
You like that one?
before. I don't know what the hell that is. Does he do that? Does he do that at the beginning of that?
Yeah.
yes,
He
sir.
reads
Yes.
the opening, yeah.
Yeah.
He reads the opening. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Captain's log. Start date.
Captain's log.
3.
Start date.
Dot.
This is
22.
Really?
Dot 22.
I should have talked like William Shatner with that guy in the street today.
There you
I
go.
could have got out there and done my William Shatner.
Is
Yeah.
that
Is that bedroom talk?
No,
Do you think? I mean, like, does that approach seduction?
Do you think he talks like that?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. You try it.
I'm surprised you didn't pick William Shatner songs today.
No. It's not significant enough. No. Oh my God, no. Wait a minute.
Keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
That's not him, is it?
I keep
Shatner and
my
Nimoy.
eyes wide open all the time.
Wait, okay. When's
I keep the
We'll find
ends
out.
for the tie that
that's the good
binds.
singer. That's
Because you're
Nimoy, Leonard
mine.
Nimoy.
that's
I
Leonard.
walk the line.
Oh, that's Leonard Nimoy.
Must come in
here
the
he
second
comes.
I find it very, very easy to be true.
Wait a minute.
I find myself alone when each day is through.
That could be them.
Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you.
That cannot be William Shatner.
Because you're mine.
This now here comes William
I
Shatner.
walk the line.
All right.
As sure as night is dark and day
They
is
sound
light,
both the same.
I know.
I keep
Isn't
you
that wild?
on my mind both day and
Wow.
night.
Wow. You know,
And
did
I've known.
you ever see William Shatner's photographs up at that store in Northampton? Michelson was representing.
No, Leonard
him.
Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy, and basically he did nudes of weight challenged women, believe it or not, and they were very good. I mean, they were wonderful pictures. I'm not exactly sure the intent, but they were well done.
The best one is William Shatner sings Rocket Man. That's the best one. Have you ever heard that one?
Rocket Man.
Yes.
Gentlemen,
Oh no, we.
a lyricist whose string of hits.
Fiction Film Awards.
Packed my bags
Is this him?
Yeah.
last night, pre-flight,
Wait a minute.
0 hour, 9 a.m.
Oh my God, we're not going to go 8, 7.
And I'm gonna be high.
Oh no, that's
It's a
not.
kite by then.
Okay, I've had enough of International William Shatner Dog Day. That's it.
So-
the
so listen to how-
International yeah.
But
Go
listen
ahead.
to how high his voice is. So he could have been singing Walk the Line. He could have actually been singing that.
Yeah. He would have been. I walked the line.
Nowadays, it would have
I
been a
walked
different
the
thing.
line. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, it's a. What it is, it's at the back of your throat. I walk the line, and you keep it at the bottom of, and you keep it as low as you can. And
Hey,
you
dude,
gotta,
the record's
there-
over.
Yeah.
There
he
are no more
probably
tracks.
doesn't sound at all like that.
If you
At
want
any
more
rate-
music,
Yeah, I want more music.
go back to track 1. That's what I would do. I mean, it's really a good record.
Oh, that's.
Otherwise,
Okay. So he's got a little
Get a
bit more
life.
high up there.
That was the end of a Brad Paisley album.
Yeah. Oh. Holy God.
He's got-
All right. Enough of William Shatner.
He's got that
All right, let's
dramatic
do- yeah.
pause.
Saint.
That's an older Bill Shatner right
Okay.
there.
So St. Patrick's Day Parade. Yeah, you were saying you didn't.
I wasn't able to make it over there this year.
Yeah.
You
Peter,
know,
were
so-
you there? Did you?
I was working at Mount Holyoke watching it on TV, and I posted on Facebook about this. And my post was, for the love of God, can a marching band learn a song other than I'm shipping up to Boston? Like, every band was...
Oh, really?
yes.
Yeah.
Kathy Krause, my friend, Kathy O'Leary, She posted she's watching from Florida, and she was thinking the exact same thing. They all every time they came by the reviewing scene, almost every band played that same damn song.
Well, is it because it's so easy to learn? Maybe that's.
Well, yeah,
I'm
that's
just
probably
saying.
it.
I'm
But
just.
still, come on.
Yeah. Well, what about
Tulalura, Irish are smiling? Come on.
I'm looking over for. I bet that the Mummers did that one.
They usually do.
Yeah.
There was three Mummers bands this year.
There were 3 Mummers bands. Wow. And the Stillwalkers. How were the Stillwalkers? That I noticed that. I took a note of it.
I saw them on the replay. I was watching.
Did you watch all 5 hours of the
No, I
darn
did
thing?
not.
No.
I just saw bits and pieces of it. And
Yeah. It's sort of like I'm going to treat the Supreme Court nomination this week the same way that you did with its parade, because I cannot bear to hear the back and forth of a good person who should be a Supreme Court. Oh no, let me get. No, we're getting right. Let's go. No.
You know, Pete's usually the one who does that, but
You mean the one who's more lenient on sexual predators than the Republicans?
That is not true at all. That is
based upon her record. It is.
Oh man. There may be extenuating.
He opened the Pandora's box.
No, Bob, it's all of them.
Oh,
she's given
please.
lenient sentences to all of them.
Oh.
But that's a thing. They're about. The far left is about freer love than you were.
Big deal. I like love.
Not
But I don't
not
like that
kind of love.
No, I don't like that kind of love. But I would.
You better qualify that as a moderate
yeah,
Democrat,
yeah,
Bob.
Yeah. Please don't ever take that out of context.
I'm not. That's why I'm saying you better qualify that as a moderate Democrat.
Yeah.
There's some sickos out there, and they shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah.
They should be rehabilitated for long periods of time in an incarcerated facility.
Yeah, well, the long period of time thing might, if somebody is 18 years old and going through puberty, and
talking about
and has
anybody that's an adult that's
no,
a pedophile.
Well, there are extenuating circumstances. Let's just put it that way. There are extenuating circumstances, and the crime has already, in a sense, and I do not ever condone anything like this, but you have to look at who the person is, and also if the person is mentally ill, which he is to begin with. There is a mental whatever. But if there's something else attached to it, you make the judgment on that. And
Bob,
we'll hear what a response is.
I would be with you if it was 1 or 2 cases. I would be right with you there. I'd be like, okay.
What about Supreme Court justices who also have been accused of stuff like?
And it's all been proven to be bogus.
Maybe not. I don't.
Yes, Bob.
I don't know. I have
the last 2 that you're referring to, all of that has been proved to be bogus, and one of them was a false claim that was propped up by the opposition, which would be the Democrats.
And the opposition, the Republicans, did not even allow didn't allow Merrick Garland to go through, to even have his day in court.
Yeah, it's called a pocket veto. The president does the same thing.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. That at any rate, that's why I'm stressed. I'm anxious.
I'm more stressed about what's going on in the Ukraine than about the thing that's going squirrel here to try to
about useless Supreme Court justices who really don't really do that much.
No, well, actually, they do. They do.
They changed.
I mean, it is important, and I believe she'd be a fine justice, but you should still scrutinize her record because that's what they did when it was on the shoe was on the other foot. They did that.
They've been doing it
viciously.
Yes, and they've been doing it that way since Clarence Thomas. And well, maybe they're not as vicious.
And Clarence Thomas is also found out to be bogus too.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, talk to Anita Hill on that one, and a very respected woman. Number 2, the arguments going back and forth. What the argument should be, or the discussion, or maybe the discussion should not be at all, is let's give someone a fair hearing that isn't based on party.
Right. It should be based on her record.
Yes.
And I just gave you part of her record, and you went, that's no big deal.
No.
Nothing to see.
No, it could be. No, it's based on, but the the idea of winning for one group, the Democrats, or winning for the Republicans, sometimes is just that notion that they can't listen and compromise is way.
All right, I have a
She might actually, but of the progressives, she might be the best of the bunch.
But-
so if you're going to have a progressive on there, which is the way that the president is moving, then you might want to take the least painful progressive.
Yeah, and the same thing was true that we could have said it for Gorsuch and we could have said it for
But they
Kavanaugh.
did.
and we
But
should
but
have
here's the
Amy
thing,
Barrett,
Bob. The Democrats didn't say that.
Mm.
They said we will destroy you at all costs.
All right. So
I have a problem. I have a problem with the fact
That's
is
all.
Well,
with her-
it's getting down.
Let's hold on a second.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the fact is, and it was one of her statements that actually told me that she is not qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. She was asked a question about defending the Constitution and whether it is a living document, in which we all know that the Constitution is a living document. It what protects us from everything going on. Her statement back was, in my years of service, I have never had the opportunity or the need to use the Constitution for the defense.
Right. However,
What? No, wait a minute. No, anything in the defense of anybody is basically into the Constitution. It is part of the Constitution that you are. No. There's no but about it. If she is saying that, if she is saying that,
You hit a nerve.
if she's saying that she has no knowledge or no experience in defending the Constitution, how can she do the job as a Supreme Court justice? What in her job is to define and read and defend the Constitution.
Yeah, and again, maybe let's.
And that
hear
was not out of
okay,
context.
okay,
It wasn't out of context.
okay,
That was her exact words.
So let's hear her answer to when she's asked that.
That was her answer. That was her answer.
No, it hasn't been the
In the
answer
congressional
within
hearing?
in the congressional
No,
hearing.
it was in an interview.
No, we're talking about the congressional hearing.
So if she changes her answer, then she's lying. If she lied somewhere.
Well, no.
How is that? If she answered it one way there and another way another, how are you not lying in one of them?
Well, people do it all the time. And yes.
So
yeah.
All right. So if I tell you one thing now and then next week I tell you something different, I didn't lie at one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just made it up.
No,
You could have changed your thought process.
I could have changed
thought
this-
process, or the meaning might have been different, or whatever. But she has more judicial experience than the last three judges all put together.
I do not deny that. I never denied that.
That's
So
actually
that
not-
And
so, but how
and
can
she was vetted last year by the government again, and was really it was a really nonpartisan vote in her favor.
she has? I never deny that she doesn't have the judicial experience, but according to her own words, she has no experience in defending the Constitution. But she did a great job as a politician, though, avoiding the question.
Well,
Because she never answered.
okay.
She never
No,
answered.
no.
She never answered the
Rick.
question whether it was a living and breathing document.
No, well,
You gotta
no.
subscribe to the progressive thing. Words don't matter. Because
Oh,
word
here
salad.
we go. All right, folks. This is it.
All right,
History
we've
card.
gone off the.
Here,
off the
let's
rails.
go
And Bob,
back.
I don't call
Let's
you a
get-
progressive.
No.
Actually, I call you a Kennedy liberal.
Maybe I can't. No, maybe I like moderate Democrat. It's very good.
Yeah, that's what a Kennedy liberal is.
Okay, good. I like moderate Democrat, and would you describe yourself as a moderate Republican?
Yes, actually, I am.
No. How about you, Rick?
The
No,
only thing
you wouldn't.
The only thing I don't
A
agree
moderate
with.
Republican? Are you a moderate
I'm
Republican?
an independent that leans right.
Yes, I am an independent that leans right.
Okay.
I have a tendency to follow the issues and not the person and not the party.
I got it.
Is to believe in the issues.
All right, I believe that.
I believe our Constitution is a living and breathing document,
I do too.
and that it was.
And I think she does. No one
it
in
was-
their right mind would say that the Constitution grows and it evolves.
And it
With-
was set forth. It was set forth by our founding fathers for a particular reason.
Yeah.
The reason and why it wasn't specific on certain issues is because they knew that everything was going to evolve.
Right. And maybe in the courts that she was in, she didn't have to. What she was saying was that maybe
Constitutional
she
issues didn't come up.
They didn't come up.
But
They
she
didn't
was
come up.
but she was also she's a former prosecutor, and she's also a former defense attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So how did it not come up in all her years?
Okay, so that would be a good question for Lindsey Graham to ask her, and just ask her that, and have her explain that. And I'd be very glad to hear that answer, and I would and appreciate that answer, and then make a decision after you hear that answer and you see her in. And all I know is it was so moving to see her sitting there, a black woman in front of all of these white old men. No, it's not about that. Yeah.
There's the problem. There's the problem is we put these adjectives in front of everybody. We got a black man, we've got a black woman,
except when they're white.
We've got a white man.
We never do it when it's white.
Yeah, but so why do we do it when it's black? It's a woman. She's a beautiful black woman. Okay, well, what's the difference between a beautiful black woman and a beautiful woman?
There is nothing.
So then why do we as a society?
Because we're talking history here, Rick. That we're talking history. We're talking the idea that all of this time.
If you want a colorblind society, you should have a colorblind society.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, we can't. We
and
don't
not keep throwing the labels.
And
in there.
that's the lie that is perpetrated by Democrats, Republicans.
Ask our
liberals,
kids. They know what a colorblind society is.
They probably do.
And guess what? So do I.
Yeah.
But when I say that, I'm accused of being racist.
Right.
Well. Okay, incidentally, I think today is something about solidarity for discussions about race and racism. So it's not on there. I took it out. I was trying to back. At any rate.
Nice segue, Bob.
Yeah. Nice
well,
segue.
You've got this thing. When I first saw it was World Day of Meta.
Yeah.
And I said, what is it, World Facebook Day?
Oh, no, isn't that Islamic tradition or something?
Yes, it is. But there's one T missing, METTA, and then the new Facebook thing is META.
Oh, and what does that mean?
I have not a clue.
It's the meta universe.
They've gone
metaverse.
They've gone non-binary.
meet everybody I don't know what that is. Terrible. At any rate, hey, it's International Day of the Seal. I am reading a 800-page book. Yes. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh,
sorry.
Was that a real seal? Was that a real seal?
No, that was me coughing.
There was a seal in the background.
All right. It's the International Day of the Seal, incidentally. Maybe they're talking about
any interesting facts of seals?
No, I don't. Seals smile, and they look you in the eye directly, and they keep looking you in the eye, and there's an intelligence behind those eyes. I love to watch the seals look at me. They look at me. They look at me instead of other people looking at me. It's
so it's
nice
Seal's the animal, not Seal the singer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you play any Seal today?
No, I didn't. No.
Kiss from the Rose?
No. Hey, I am reading a 800-page biography of Frank Sinatra. And
800 pages.
800 pages. It's called, and if you want to pick it up, and it's the first volume. I've got the second volume. The second volume is 1,000 pages. The first volume is called Frank Sinatra, The Voice. The second one is called Frank Sinatra, The Chairman. And Frank Sinatra, The Voice.
Is the third one going to be Frank Sinatra, the mobster?
Well, it's all in there, and it really yeah, it's all in there, and it's a really interesting novel in a way because of his long-suffering wife, Ava Gardner, his singing style, his voice getting worse and worse, his
so all that smoking.
And carousing and staying up to all hours, his and his gallivanting around town, his mother, who had the greatest influence on him, and this swagger, the Sinatra swagger, which was matched with a tenderness in his voice and a catch in his voice that really made Bobby Soxers swoon. It's about the Bobby Soxers and all of that, and it's really interesting. It's the first part of his life. So the guy talks about the music that he sings and what he doesn't sing, and when he's out of style, and what he has to do in order to get back in the style, and his on and off relationships with women. Lana Turner, oh my God, read about her, etc., etc. And a trip to Havana with the mobsters and his.
So he's a legendary womanizer.
Well, yeah, and the thing that he liked about Lucky Luciano was, and he traveled with William Moretti, another small-time New Jersey gangster, but Lucky Luciano is a big one, but he loved the charisma and the power that this guy had. And
quiet power,
quiet, whatever it is, yeah, and that power is it's so. Reminiscent of a toxic male in a way, that wanting to be in control all of the time, and his kindness on the other hand. I mean, so he is the most complex person, and to read it, regardless of whether you,
somebody would call that bipolar.
Man!
And he also had a drink in his hand most of the time.
Oh man, there was a lot of that.
And a cigarette,
a cigarette, and a glass of what? Do you know?
What did he drink?
No, I don't know what he drank. What did he drink?
Jack Daniels was his.
Oh, it's Jack Daniels
drink of choice. Yeah.
Wow.
Bourbon.
He would slug it down, and I don't know how anyone could drink from. Well, maybe we could ask St. Patrick's Day goers or whatever how they could drink from morning until night.
They usually
and still be compos mentis or whatever that word is. So anyway, I'm going to play one of his songs from one of his. He was in Harry James' band. Harry James let him go to then go on for his dream band, the Tommy Dorsey Band. And Tommy Dorsey was like a ship's captain, and somehow or other they meshed. And but he always was second fiddle in the Tommy Dorsey Band because Tommy wanted when you listen to the songs, Frank doesn't sing first, Frank sings second, etc., etc. But at any rate, this is Frank Sinatra from Tommy Dorsey years. It's a lovely day tomorrow. It's a lovely day tomorrow.
It's a lovely day tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lovely day. Come and feast your tear-dimmed eyes on tomorrow's clear blue skies. If today your heart is weary, if every little thing looks gray, just forget your troubles and learn to say tomorrow is a lovely day.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and the conversation continues during the break. And Rick,
people can see it, but they can't hear it.
And look, we're still talking, and we love one another.
Actually, we do. It's because you give me things to look at on the other side, like about the Supreme Court candidate, right? If I would have no problem with a lot of it if they had just said, "I'm going to nominate the most qualified person for the job," right?
Yeah.
But he pigeonholed it by saying, "I'm going to nominate a black woman for the job."
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But let me hear me out. If he had put up that nominee, I'd be like, she must be an awesome judge. Now I'm going to think that there might be somebody better out there, but he had to pick a black woman, and this is the best they got.
No, he wanted to pick a black woman.
I understand that, but he shouldn't have telegraphed that to the world.
Well, yeah, but the idea
people would have cheered him nonetheless for saying a black woman will be serving on the Supreme Court.
Well, I love the idea that we're suddenly realizing that we do have to recognize that a court of the highest court in the land should reflect. There should be an Asian American on that. There should be.
But wait a minute, Bob, I agree with that. But you don't telegraph it because it almost is like reverse affirmative action.
Well, I think it would have gone out there regardless of whether he telegraphed it or not. I think it would have in this polarized society he would have done that. And
yeah. But why do we have to do that?
I don't think it's as polarized as you think either.
But why do we have to do that? Why do we have to say that? Oh, we have to have.
Yeah, I know.
We have to have somebody of Asian descent on the thing.
Yeah.
Why are we not having the most qualified person fill a job?
Well,
affirmative action is a good thing, yes, but it has to go to the most qualified person. If two people, one person who is white and one person who is of color, are up for the same job, but the person who is white happens to be more qualified for the job, but because of affirmative action, the person of color gets the job. Is that right?
No.
Is that not reverse discrimination?
No.
It's not?
Well, Rick, I was on a lot of committees when I was working at the university. About selection committees, and we often had that the affirmative action discussion, and indeed you do have to look at the global picture, and sometimes you have to make decisions based on the global sense of things.
But that's about optics.
It might be
it's
about
optics. It's
only
optics.
It's
only optics.
It's about.
Look at us. Look at us. We have a diversified.
No.
It's not.
It's more than that. It's more than to recognize that in this country, that a certain swath of our population has not had the accessibility or the advantages of some of us.
That's not what we're talking. That's not what we're talking about.
Well,
here.
that's where you.
So no, I'm talking about somebody who is qualified. If you do a blind interview where you do not know the person's race,
I love that.
You do a blind interview where you do not know the person's race.
Yeah.
Candidate A.
Yep.
Is less qualified than candidate B.
Yep.
But on the interview process, candidate B has more qualifications, gave a better interview, has a more insight to what's going on.
Right.
You're going to hire candidate B.
I might
with no. In a blind, you do not know who the person is. You don't know
looking at their resume and maybe doing a voiceover.
Whether it's female, whether they're of color, whether they're of
I'm going to add another
or anything.
I'm going to add another thing here, that sometimes the qualifications, there's something other than qualifications that you pick. If, for instance, the person has the qualifications, and yet is that there is something about him. And this is all personal stuff, but that they may not get along with someone. They may their personality.
But you
the team that you're trying to create. The team that you're trying to create. It's a whole process.
But here's what I said: you did a blind interview with them. The candidate B interviewed better. Has a better resume, has more qualifications.
Yes.
Than candidate A.
Yes.
Okay, so now hear me out here.
Yeah.
So in a blind interview, candidate B is your choice. In a blind interview, you do not know whether they are male, female,
okay, got it.
of color, white,
how old,
Asian, how old they are, what they are.
Yeah.
In a blind interview.
Yeah, that's right.
So B is your
but in
let me finish.
In that interview, the person interrupts me. Like I'm doing to you.
Yes, like you're doing to me.
Okay,
but you're not
letting
me
interrupts
finish.
me. No, the person interrupts me, has a defensive attitude, has a cockiness about them. I once didn't get a job. I once almost
you didn't listen.
You
didn't listen to what I said.
Somebody thought I was too cocky.
You see, you didn't listen to what I said.
Right.
Candidate B, who's got better qualifications, interviewed better than candidate A. Okay, in the blind interview. So in the blind interview, your pick is candidate B.
Mm-hmm.
You do a face-to-face interview where it's not blind.
Mm-hmm.
Candidate A just happens to be and I'm going to use the term, and I hate doing it, a black woman.
Yeah.
Candidate B is an older white gentleman.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now you're thinking to yourself, okay, I need to make myself diversity, even though this person is less qualified for the job.
Well, I'm on the team.
So now you've changed to the fact is that you've now picked a lesser qualified person because of their race.
No.
Because the optics of everything needs to be we're a diversified thing, because
sometimes
you did not choose the qualifications.
No.
Am I correct,
no,
Peter?
No, I think here. Let me finish this. The idea here is that, and oftentimes we were in this situation at Westfield State, where we wanted to make sure that our the team, creating a team to create an international spirit, to have the faculty reflect the student population, to have the students be able to look up to a professor, in a team when you're doing that, it's not necessarily about and sometimes the idea is, okay, look, how about this? My team is made up of 6 men and 3 women. Or 4
So,
women.
Bob, I think you just made his point for him.
Thank you, Peter. Yes, I was just going to bring that
maybe
up.
I did.
Yep.
Okay, 6 men and
Because-
4 women, and I want to have the more equal. I want it to be 5 and 5. So, and I don't know that that's a woman. I don't know, and suddenly you have to find out. Well, that's woman. So, unfortunately, that she is not the person I'm going to pick.
You just made his point.
She's not the person I'm going to pick.
So affirmative action doesn't work.
the affirmative action is around looking at your team and making sure that that team is reflective of the general population.
But that might not always be the best people.
But who's to say the gentleman?
But that in some cases that is okay. Absolutely okay, Peter.
All right.
That's absolutely okay.
But who's to say that the older gentleman that you didn't pick hasn't been a mentor to a diverse population of people? So no. Let me finish, please, because that's where we're going.
You got
here.
Rick all crazy.
That's
Usually
where
it's me.
that's where we're going here.
Peter,
Because how can you say that older gentleman, that the students can't look up to him and say, you know what? And he is more diversified than the black woman who is sitting there. So you're telling me that he can't be?
No, he can be, because it's.
How do you know he's not?
It could be ageism if we're not selecting him, but it's the same.
I'm not saying it's ageism.
It's a word salad.
This
is where we talk about the word salad part.
If the older white gentleman who has been mentoring kids in the projects and mentoring kids in middle class neighborhoods and been a mentor to all people.
Yeah.
How can you say that? How can you say that the student populations will not look up to him if he is qualified to take
I'll give you
on?
another reason here. I'll just throw into the mix that this person may be wanting to be on a team or is applying for a job that is about strategic planning 5 to 10 years from now, and the guy is 78 years old. And I know you're then going to come back and say, "Well, our president is 78."
That's age ageism.
It is
by your own definition.
It is.
See where the problems arise.
Absolutely. And
if you apply the rules fairly,
that's right. Yeah,
So
We can't level the field until we make the field inclusive. That's all I'm saying.
A few months ago, I had a job interview.
Yeah.
And the woman asked me, said, "So you're looking to retire in about 8 to 10 years, right?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's discrimination.
I was dumbfounded. I can't believe she actually asked me that question.
She wasn't. Oh, she shouldn't have.
And the minute she said it, and I looked at her, she knew exactly what she said, and she knew what was going through my mouth. I got up and left.
Yeah.
I walked out because I wasn't dealing with that.
Yeah.
Because that's ageism.
Yeah.
So
in the meantime, it's 7:03.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll continue this conversation. Always, will continue this conversation. It's important
there's no easy solution.
No, there isn't. That's the
There is
problem.
not an easy solution.
But it's got to be a fair playing field for everybody.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it does.
Like swimming.
Yes, it does. It has, and that statement is very important to think about. We have to make the playing field fair, accessible, and diverse, and that's an important thing.
But you also have to be fair in that. You also have to be fair in those judgments.
Sometimes you have to make choices that are difficult, and my stress, my stress, anxiety, and worry this week has all been about choices.
So then you're discriminating at me because I'm a white male.
I might, and it's
so. Do I not have a case? Do I not have a case to sue somebody for discrimination because I'm a white man?
No.
I would ask.
No, you don't. Actually, under the current law, you do not.
Well,
no.
Well, why not? That's my question: is why not?
Because at one time, Bob is correct. The affirmative action worked, but if you look at the way the economy is and the way, especially in the Northeast, it's not so all over the country, Bob. But I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But in the Northeast, particularly. There's a lot of people in minority populations that are not only middle class but upper middle class, and so the dynamics have changed in the Northeast. So, should those affirmative action laws only be applied to areas where it makes economic sense, not necessarily based upon minority groups, right? So, should it be more economic than based upon the color of one's skin, right?
Yeah.
I think it should be more based upon economics, because there are areas of this country that are dirt poor, both white, black, whatever, that are dirt poor, that are poorer than people that are considered poor in the Northeast, where it's a different animal. So I think we should be looking less at skin color nowadays and more at economic status nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, Janine's patiently waiting, and you guys are keep yapping.
Okay, but what I'm going to just finally say is...
Let's go on to a topic that we can all talk about. Let's travel.
Wait a minute. Yes, yeah. But wait a minute. Let me just say that this is the kind of conversation that needs to happen.
Absolutely.
And it's important. And to let us both, on all sides, not be so fearful of having that conversation, and also not be so entrenched in where we are.
We're not.
No, I didn't say that at all. I to be non-entrenched, to listen, and to be willing to change on either side will get us a hell of a lot farther.
We just did a big compromise right here by saying maybe in the Northeast the rules should be applied differently than in the Appalachians or in the Midwest.
And so that gets us all to talking about it. That's very good. Yeah. Hey, so I'll play a song from my Wisconsin music director that his children, Lauren and Benjamin, love. And I thought it was going to be a children's song. It's actually Bill Withers singing "Lovely Day." We had "It's a Lovely Day Tomorrow." I could have played "It's a Lovely Day Today," but this is called "Lovely Day." Bill Withers from the 1970s.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seemed impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
What's this? Wow.
It's her theme song.
Oh, it's the theme song.
I have to play the theme song Janine's on.
Janine Queenan. Wow, it is Tuesday morning. If you're just tuning in, it's Bob Plass. I'm here with my my personal assistant, sidekick, sparring buddy, Rick Berry. The producer of the moment is Pete Coles in the box, and Janine Queenan from StoriedAdventures.com and beyond is right here. And Janine, welcome. You've been listening to all of this and going, will they shut up? I think there are some folks out there that sometimes say, will they just shut up and do their William Shatner impressions?
No, I don't think they were saying that.
No, they don't want that either, Bob.
They don't want that either. At any rate. But, hey, Janine, how are you? We haven't seen you in a while.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You are sitting there in an undisclosed location.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to?
Working hard, Bob. How about you?
I'm stressed. I'm anxious. I'm worrisome. I'm
Bob's oversleeping. His anxiety's getting the best of him lately.
It's a stressful time. It's an anxious time.
Oh, it's and I don't know. What do you do with? I've been trying to figure out what to do with anxiety. I suffer from OCD, so that OCD stuff, is ruminating.
Bob, you need to sit. You need to sit on a beach or by a pool and just relax and listen to the waves lapping.
Yeah, we're going away, and that's a good idea. We're going away. I hope very soon to have me get to this point, but till then, I am dealing with this, and I went to the New York Times, my source of every. Oh God!
That explains a lot.
No. I went to the science section of the New York Times, and there was an article about stress, worry, and anxiety. And one of the things that it said is that, and as a therapist, I know this. It's just that I need to hear it. Is that talking about it and or ruminating and thinking about the future and or the past keeps you out of the present. And in that present, you need to find a quiet breathing space. And it said every time you have a thought that pulls you into that anxiety thing, you think about your toes and you wiggle your toes. And so, in other words, there it is again. There's my anxiety. Wiggle my toes, watch my toes, keep my mind away from that anxious thought. So I'll take a deep cleansing breath here.
Well, that's mindfulness, Bob. Mindfulness and meditation, and science proves that works and helps for things like anxiety.
Yeah. Do you practice mindfulness at all?
I do.
Yeah. In what way? How?
I meditate and I do yoga, and also just sort of being aware of, because your brain does spiral. They call it monkey mind. That it can spiral either into the future or back into the past, and you don't even realize that you're living right now. And it's not good for you to do that, because it's not, what you're remembering isn't exactly right. A lot of times you put like extra emphasis on something that really had no meaning or wasn't that important, and then it makes you upset. And because your body doesn't know the difference between a thought and actually happening.
that's why you feel anxious, because you feel like you're reliving something that happened, that it's actually happening right now.
And you're trying to change the ending, and you can't change the ending, and you have no control about other people. You have no control about what other people think. You have no control about the world as it is. You can try, and God knows we're trying for peace all over the place and wanting to find peace, but we have to find peace in ourselves, and that's why I admire anyone who is able to, in the midst of what do we call it? In the midst of turmoil, to be peaceful. So tell us.
Calm in the center of the hurricane.
So when do you meditate? When is your meditation period?
I do every morning. I did not have a chance to do it this morning because I came on to the show, but yeah, it's part of my yoga practice, and I've been doing it for years and years and years.
And do you light a candle?
No,
or no music?
It doesn't have to be anything special. I have a great book for you, Bob, that's actually really fun. It's written by a person named Dan Harris. You might know him. He's on Good Morning America, and he wrote a book called 10% Happier, about how he found meditation after he suffered from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Too early to even remember any initials, because he was a war correspondent.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah, and he ended up with a drug problem and things like that. But the book is hilarious because he is a funny guy, and it really kind of pulls the curtain away from meditation. People think it's a religion or whatever, and it's not. It's really just there's a lot of science behind it. There's one of the foremost experts of mindfulness is at UMass Worcester Medical School.
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing, and it's a great book if anyone has any interest in it. And plus, it's funny. I mean, he's funny. He really talks a lot about, he's very honest about what happened to him. He had a huge panic attack on television. He thought he was having a heart attack. But he says it in a funny way that's very accessible.
Wow. See, Bob, I think I do that. Sometimes you just need to withdraw, shut off the phone, shut off the TV, and just concentrate on you and just have almost silence, but not quite. And just reflect upon just where you're at and just be in the moment for a little bit. And that usually kind of does a reset for me.
Wow.
Yeah, Pete, that's mindfulness.
Yeah.
That's it right there. It's not anything magic. It's just
no.
Sometimes it's about even just controlling your breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you're clinically, there's something called generalized anxiety disorder. There are all kinds of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. When it's a disorder that is related to a serotonin in your brain or something like that, that's a little bit more difficult. But you absolutely do. I controlled my hand washing, my crossing at lights, my kicking stones on the street, and having the fear that something bad is going to happen when I kick a stone. That's how bad I was. Okay, in this anxiety disorder, and ruminating, and in my mind going, "Oh, I'm not that. This is crazy." But yet trying to justify it and keep thinking about it or stuff, and it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in a long while, but it happened this week, and I actually had a panic attack during a meeting earlier in the week, and I thought to myself, I just have to get it together. And so, what is the name of this book, Janine?
It's called 10% Happier.
Again, 10% Happier.
But there's a lot of books but I just like that because I like his style, and I think he's funny, and like I said, it makes it very approachable. And
yeah.
There's an app and all the things. But a lot of people use Calm or Insight meditation app. There's a lot of different ones.
Yeah. I'm want to, and this go. When I was breaking up with somebody long ago, I read 40 on a weekend. I was so stressed with the OCD and breaking up. What is it going to mean, et cetera, et cetera. I said, okay, I'm going to do something active. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy every book on divorce that I can. And I honest to God.
That's called obsessive compulsive. That's a different disorder.
I sort of combine. Yeah, really. That's so true. I combine.
This is why I love doing
Did
Tuesdays.
that help? Probably not.
That just made him more neurotic.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's change gears, Bob.
Yeah.
Because time is ticking here.
Oh my God! Look at it. 7:20 in the morning.
I know Florida is picking up travel-wise, but are other vacation destinations going to pick up this summer, especially with gas prices
it's
going
busy.
through the roof?
Yeah, it's busy. It is. It's busy. And I mean, one thing I just want to remind people, sort of pack your patience when you travel,
Yeah.
because everybody's still understaffed, especially overseas. So a lot of the people I work with in Europe, et cetera, the countries that are open, they really have not staffed up yet. So things are taking longer, and especially if you're used to a certain level of service and things like that. So just try to be patient. I know it's hard. Everybody wants things to be back to normal again, but I think that it's going to be a while. So in with the airlines, everything's super expensive for the same reasons, though. You know, they don't have as many routes. They canceled a whole bunch of routes, and then also staffing is not up to snuff.
And be thankful if you booked a ticket a while ago. Like I booked my travel for the World Series when they had a flash sale going on for Amtrak. So I think it was $1,100 round trip on the auto train, and I think that same trip now is almost $1,800.
Yeah.
And the flights are out of sight.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, like,
stupid.
I mean, they are high. You're in the
Stupid
thousands
money.
for coach to go to Europe.
Oh my!
Even domestic flights are crazy.
Yeah, if
They're
you had
just-
booked before the pandemic, or booked before the invasion of Ukraine, you're in good shape. If you're booking afterwards, well,
so I'm
but you're still better off.
I still recommend, though, if you're looking for a flight, set up a Google alert, because you go to Google Flights, you can see all the flights that are in the sky. Set up a Google alert for your route, and it will notify you by email or text if the price changes. So sometimes it does dip for unknown reasons, right? I don't know why.
Sure.
But if you have something planned and you have time to kind of let that run its course,
Well, I wonder.
you might find something with a little bit less.
Janine, if you do this, you go to Google. Okay, I go to Google, and then what do I do? I mean,
Just Google, just
You can
type
put
in Google Flights.
Yeah.
Google.
Right? And
There it's
that
called.
link will come up. So click on that link, and you just put in where you want to go, the dates, blah blah blah.
Okay,
And you
so
can
it's
see-
Google Flights.
Yeah, you put in a route. You put in your route, and then you put in for alerts.
Got it. I've done that with Travelocity, and I've done it with Cheapo Air, and I've done it with
Are you
Booking.
most of them have the alerts. Most of them have the alerts.
And you
that
know how I
can get.
feel about that, Bob.
Yeah, I
Janine,
I'll say that you're safest booking directly with the airline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively. Like,
Yeah.
of course, I don't really have any facts to back this up, but I believe in my heart that when they start to bump people on flights, the people who bought from Cheapo Air are the first to go.
Oh, I bet.
Hey, Janine,
I bet.
Are you still better off contacting a travel agent if you want to do like a trip 6 to 8 months from now?
Mm-hmm.
Are you better off going through somebody like you who can get all that stuff, buy it quickly and early, and then lock in better prices in case, volatility of markets and things like that? Because once an airline sells a ticket, they can't up the fee because of last minute stuff.
They can up it for fuel. So if you read their terms and conditions, there are a couple things that allow them to raise the price a little bit. So yeah, but usually they don't. Like I've never had that happen to me ever.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Yeah, but yes, it is locked in. But they do have a little caveat that it has to do with fuel prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, of course, I always think you should use a travel advisor. So
yeah, sure.
Especially if you're doing the trip of a lifetime, right?
We can find deals on flights. The flights are the flights. Like
Sure.
we don't really have.
I
I use a consolidator that sometimes I am able to find. Like I have a huge group going to Germany, and I found a price that was actually $1,000 less a ticket.
Yeah.
Because I went to this company that I like to work with, and it was a lot of people and things like that. So
Sure.
we can find quote unquote deals like that, but the flights are the flights, really.
Yeah. And so working with an agent, does the agent also then say to you, like when you're booking a ticket, like when I'm booking a ticket on Cheapo Air, sometimes it says non-refundable, non-transferable. Do you have that same thing with does a travel agent say that as well?
What? Don't do that?
No, not yeah.
Don't use Cheapo Air.
Yeah. But non-refundable, non-transferable.
Oh yeah. Now you can pay a little bit extra to have refundable, and airlines are still allowing you to change without a fee. I don't know if that will last forever, but so that's you need to look at that and decide if that little extra money is worth the refund.
Sure.
Also, travel insurance will cover things, will cover a lot of things. So a lot of times what I'll do, I'll help people find the flight, but so airlines don't like to work with travel advisors, right? So they don't want a third person in the middle of it.
Got it.
So I'll help someone find the ticket and then have them book it themselves, because that gives them the most protection.
Oh.
Right? And it has a direct link, but I'll help them find the route and do all the things.
Right.
And then if there's a problem, I'll help resolve it. But airlines are tough, as you all know.
Yeah.
And they're tough to work with.
Yeah. I a real life experience here. As you know, I was going to Wisconsin over Christmas, and I had to cancel the flight. Okay, we had to cancel because COVID was at the other end of the flight at my in-laws' house, and so we canceled the flight, and they did it very nicely. This is in December, but they said that when you rebook, they'll give you the flight. Your flight is secure, but you're going to pay $50 a person for for doing the service. It's the fee, the change fee. And
that's why I like Southwest, Bob.
Okay, no, okay. So here's the deal. So I call, and they say that's at $50 more. So it's $100 that I'm paying to rebook. But they did find my ticket to Wisconsin for the two of us was somewhere like $450 for two people. It was like $250, or I don't remember. It was $200. It was close. It was $236, I think, something like that. So I ended up paying another $100 for us to get it when I was booking my future vacation in Wisconsin, and I was saying, "Geez, it sounds so awful to have to pay for you to just press a button and change the flight. This $50, fee. What am I paying for here? It's just, to keep me from what?" When a crisis occurs, he said, "Sir, you must know that because you booked with us or whatever, that ordinarily this would be a $200 per person change fee, but because you were locked into this through." It was Cheapo Air I was booking, that it's $50 rather than $200. So I don't know whether I was getting a misinformation deal from Taiwan, where the guy was speaking to me, or not. I don't know, but I ended up paying $100 rather than, and it could have been $400 according to him.
Hey, Bob, usually those call centers are in the Philippines, but anyways.
Yeah.
Was it a fee or was it
is that right?
a fare change? Was it a different price?
It was the same. They got me the same cost.
The same
it didn't.
Price?
Yeah, same price and everything.
Because I'm not really seeing the big change fees now. I'm seeing that you have to pay the difference. Like, so for example, we had I was taking my mother to Arizona in January, but we decided not to go because of Omicron. But we rebooked it, but we actually got a refund because the flight was less expensive when I rebooked it.
I've done that with Southwest. That Kenny does this all the time. He books his flight way early. Like as soon as flights open up for 6 months, 8 months in advance, he books. And then he keeps looking periodically to see if there's a change. And he's gotten credits, huge credits based upon him just constantly checking the fares and just rebooking. Or he doesn't cancel it. He just rebooks it and goes, "Hey, it's cheaper now." And they issue him travel fund credits type thing on Southwest. He does it all the time.
Yeah. Why don't we take a break? Rick, you called it what is it called? Day of Meta? What is it? The International Day of
Meta.
Bob, it's on your rundown.
Oh, yeah. World Day of Meta. METTA. You know what that is at all, Janine? World Day of Meta? I'm going to tell you. So it fits
if you're
right
traveling to Mecca, yes,
look
you
at
would
this.
know.
It fits right into what you were talking about. Today, March 22nd, is the organizers of the World Day of Meta are asking people all around the world to open their hearts and from 12 to 2 local time to meditate on and offer the following metta to all beings of the world. And here's the metta. This is a blessing. May all beings have fresh, clean water to drink. May all beings have food to eat. May all beings have a home May all beings have someone to share love with. May all beings know their true purpose. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be free from suffering. Today, I shall do what I can to make this so. The offering of metta, a loving kindness, is a non-denominational act. You don't have to believe in anything except the power of love to change the world. Compassionate hearts of all persuasions or no persuasions are invited to join others around the world in 2 hours of loving kindness between 12 and 2 today. All right? Now, I'm going to play. This is a Grammy nominated. She is Grammy nominated for the award for New Artist of the Year, believe it or not. And her name is Arooj Aftab, Arooj Aftab. And her music is so hypnotic. She's a Brooklyn-based Pakistani vocalist, music composer, and producer. And she has no constraints on her musical style. So she works in jazz, minimalism, Sufi, and other musical instruments. And as you listen to her work, they're great for relaxation. But even more than that, and they're long, so they're 7 or 8 minutes. So I found the shortest one of hers, and this is called Insaf, Insaaf. This is Arooj Aftab.
जिस दिन आकाश बेदाग होगा, चेहरा चाँद का साफ होगा, जिस दिन आकाश बेदाग होगा, चेहरा चाँद का साफ होगा, जिस दिन समय ने आंखें खोली, इंसाफ 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 होगा। बहता क्या आँख में उम्मीद नहीं है, आंसू का मोल तो है, करीब नहीं है, तराजू उठेगा तो इंसाफ होगा, होगा होगा इंसाफ होगा, इंसाफ 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 होगा। बहती नदियाँ रुकती नहीं है, डूबो डूबो तरो तरो डूबो तो भी मुक्ति नहीं है, गर्दन पर है कर्ज लहू का, गर्दन देकर ही माफ होगा, इंसाफ 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 होगा, जिस दिन आकाश बेदाग होगा, चेहरा चाँद का साफ होगा, जिस दिन समय ने आंखें खोली, इंसाफ 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 होगा।
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest Ace dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rocky's, rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It's March 22nd, 2022. And there she is. It is Janine Queenan. Janine, if anybody wants to connect with you, how do they do it?
They can connect with me. My website is storyedadventures.com. I'm on Facebook, Storied Adventures. You can or Janine at storyedadventures.com for my email.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of getting ready to go to St. Patrick's Day after Saturday night to my friend, my insurance lad. Y'all know him, Brad Casson and his wife. And we're going to dinner over there that we had planned long ago. I was going to the Marrow Ball, but this is like an annual tradition for us, and we really work hard at try to make it a nice party. And so I'm fixing Parmesan crusted Brussels sprouts. Okay, Parmesan crusted Brussels sprouts, and the phone rings. I'll tell you about that afterward, but the recipe. But the
doorbell didn't ring. You didn't have an appointment at that time.
No, the phone rang. No, yeah. No, the phone rang, and it was my dear friend Linda Moranti, and she said, "Bob, hi, can we just drop over? I'm in town. I'm at Janine's house." You're at Janine's house, etc., etc. She said, "Yeah, you don't know what's happening. Yeah, etc., etc." And so, Janine, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're planning with my great friend? Suddenly, it's just like. You ever had this happen? You introduced a friend to another friend of yours, and then they have a relationship outside of your relationship. I could get very jealous. I could get very. Yes. And they're going over. They're having.
Are you possessive?
No. I was so jumping for joy, honest to God. And so Linda came over and helped me finish my balls. And
excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah. Janine.
Janine's like, I'm done.
Well, you know what's so funny is that Linda is this. I've met two women I met during the pandemic online. Like I met Linda through you, and another woman I met in an online networking, and we became friends. And I just met both of them in real life for the first time in 2 years. It's so funny. I've been talking to Linda for more than a year and the other woman for at least 18 months. And we finally got together. So that was the first time I met Linda, and you introduced us. Linda has a company called Il Chiostro. And they, as you know, Bob, they do a fantastic job putting together workshops to Italy. They highlight, they have artists and chefs and coaches and all sorts of creative people who lead workshops. And then they have this beautiful experience with food and wine and seeing Tuscany. It's just really, it's amazing. So you thought that would be a good connection, and it was. And so I am doing some work for them, and I have a workshop myself going in October 10th. We're going to Tuscany. We're staying at this beautiful wine resort, and we'll be eating and drinking and having fun. And there are a couple spots left if people are interested in that. So it's October 10th to the 17th. And I'm just so excited because I love Italy. It's my favorite destination. And it really is a place that a lot of people, it's on their bucket list for sure.
Sure.
And they just do a really nice job. So Linda stopped by on Saturday night and then went to see you.
Yeah. It was so great, and Michelino or Michael or Mickey, as who was with him, who's Linda's assistant in Tuscany, and it's great. I hadn't seen him since he was 25 years old. Can you imagine? And so there is this 50-year-old man in front of me that I only remembered when he was 20. I knew him in his 20s. It is so freaky to see somebody "You're old," and when people say that,
Nice, Bob.
Yeah,
You're old.
They look at my face and they say, "This guy is oh man," and I didn't want to say. Well, I did say. I said, "You're old," and I didn't want to go. What happened? Or what? Because that indicate he aged very nicely. I mean, like how that some people don't age nicely.
Why were you looking at me?
Oh
when you
no,
said
I
that,
didn't. I didn't mean.
You saw that, Janine, didn't you? He was looking over at me when he said that.
Oh yeah. No. But so you're going to Italy, and where you're go to Tuscany? What particular spot in Tuscany in October?
Yeah, so we're staying at this place called Diavole, which
Oh
is,
yes, I know it.
Yes, so you've been there.
Yeah.
And it's just this.
It's a winery.
It's just a beautiful wine resort, and then we'll be going to some of the hill towns in Tuscany, visiting Siena. So it really has a nice. Again, it's food and wine based.
Right,
So we'll be doing some cooking. We'll have a chef come in. We'll be spending like a night with Italian music and food and things like that. So I'm really excited about it. And you know what? We have quite a few people signed up. We weren't sure because people were still not sure about traveling, but it's really starting to snowball and people are much more comfortable traveling. So it's super fun to work with them. And even if you're not interested in that particular trip, but you are interested, if you want to learn to paint, if you want to learn more about photography, I mean, they have a great range of workshops, but you're also in Italy, which is
sure,
cool.
sure, and you might find love in the process because I did.
I heard that story. I didn't want to tell that story, but I did hear that story.
Yeah. That's where I met James.
Really?
Over there? Yes, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
And
I thought it was your love of wine that you were.
Oh well, maybe that got maybe that made the difference. Maybe that tipped the scales.
There you go.
It might have tipped the scales. I always say that one of the joys of going to Il Chiostro was Michael said to me today. Michael is her partner and in the business, Michael Maley, and they said while we were there, do you want to go and with Michael to fill up the wine kegs? I said, what do you mean? They fill up the wine kegs like they do the car with gas. And so we brought these wine kegs, and it was just like filling up at a gas station. And the wine kegs get filled up, and then you bring them back and you drink them, and then you fill them up again and whatever. I think during that week he said, "This is a big drinkers' week." This is a big drinkers' week, at any rate. But it's a lot of. I wondered because we are at Westfield on weekends, where incidentally we have Up Close and Musical. This coming Friday night is our next one in the series of Up Close and Musical with the students, the alumni, and the faculty of Westfield State University in a free concert that is down at Renova, our Westfield Creative Arts Center, 105 Elm Street in downtown Westfield, everybody. You got to see this. It's so great, and you get to know the people. But one of our other programs down there that we're creating, it's called Let's Travel. And it's right up your alley, Janine. And what it is, and this year we are going to Sorrento, okay? And the idea here is it's a travel series that you don't have to go to Sorrento with us to participate, because what we did is we'll pick a country or whatever or an agent, okay, and it just happened that Kathy Bradford, who I'm working closely with there, had been doing this at the university for years, and so had an experience with an agency, and so she had started this, and then I came in, and they said, "Oh my God, well, I got to introduce you to Linda and Janine because there are all kinds of things." So we're going to do a night of pasta. We're going to do. There's going to be all kinds of events connected or evenings connected to whatever way, wherever we're going, and it will change, and it will, and it could go anywhere. And as I said to Linda the other day, and when she came over to help me with the balls, I really want to work with you guys in some way. And so, and actually, Kathy Bradford said to me, I can't wait to meet them because they sound really dynamite, et cetera, et cetera. So there might be some future canoodling in our, no, maybe not canoodling is different than.
Bob, don't say canoodling. That could be misconstrued.
That's not the same word as like relating or what's the.
No.
Collaborating, Bob.
Collaborating and canoodling are two different.
Yes, they are, Bob.
So we're not canoodling here, Ricardo?
No, we're not.
Get that straight. Get that.
Canoodling is a little bit more intimate, Bob.
Okay, spell canoodling. Would you try that, please? Would you try that, Janine? Spell
noodle ing.
Yes, no.
Okay, so here's the question that I asked Kathy when I found out that she was planning this thing, was, indeed, do people want to travel with the war in Ukraine? And has that affected anything at all as people travel?
Clearly, if you are had planned to travel to a country that's adjacent to the Ukraine, I'm sure if people had plans to Poland and things like that, probably it has, but not so much. You hear some concern. It's more of a wait and see, but yeah, not really.
Yeah, and that's my thought as well. Is the idea that we plan something and we hope for peace or whatever. One of my, Ethel and Peter, I was talking to Ethel and Peter the other day, and they were saying, well, should we be traveling and having a good time? I feel kind of guilty of doing, traveling and having a good time. And I said, well, you know what? We have to take care of ourselves in order to be able to take care of other people. If we're not supporting the war in the Ukraine, or supporting the end of the war in the Ukraine, then we're not part of the world. And we would want. I mean, you continue to do your support and continue to live your life. And I said to Ethel and Peter, I said, look, we're of a certain age, and we have a certain amount of time left on the earth, and we have to live our lives as fully and rejoice as much as we can, and find a way to strike an even a balance. So that's my philosophy about going, or even having a party during this time or whatever. Your peacefulness, your love of life can reflect that for. Oh, Peter, you're on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to Kenny.
Oh, yeah, yes. So, Janine, do you agree with that? I mean, is that a good philosophy?
Everyone has to do what they think is best. I will say that, the tragedy in Ukraine is just, it's beyond words. Also, there's always something happening in the world.
Man. Oh, yes.
There's always,
there's
famine, there's war, there's always.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, I don't know the answer. I think everyone has to decide for themselves. So the world's a tragic place in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We are lucky to live in a peaceful country. So I do think people just have to decide for themselves. But in terms of safety, traveling to Italy or something like that, I wouldn't be that concerned with it at the moment. Definitely keep your eyes on it. Make sure you buy travel insurance, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
And I know that, I know your safety is the most important, but you want to be able to recoup some costs if you can. And also, evacuation insurance and things like that. And, if you travel, the State Department has a program called STEP, and just Google STEP, State Department. And it allows you to register your trip if you want. Some people don't want the government to know where they're going, but I suppose if you're using your passport, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is they will notify you by text if something's happening where you are and what you should do, and things like that. And it allows your family to get in touch with you. Like there's a system that if you family back here and they need to get in touch with you if there's an emergency here, or if something happens where you are, as a way to connect. Because, a lot of times the phone systems might go down or they get overloaded and things like that. So it's a good program. It's free. It's called STEP. And
would
I recommend it.
would it give you a COVID update of that travel as well? I mean, or
They do have, I believe that they do have COVID updates in different countries. So if it goes to a level 4, if you're in that country, it will tell you.
Yeah.
A lot of it, so if say there's a terrorist attack or something terrible happens, it tells you what to do. A lot of times it's listen to local authorities, but also if you need to evacuate, how to contact the embassy and whatnot.
Oh, incredible. Incredible. Hey, Janine, that is STEP, STEP, and you
STEP. I'll have to look up what the acronym stands for, but it's like state something. I'll look it up during the break.
All right. Okay.
But it's called STEP. But if you Google STEP, State Department, you'll find it.
Okay, so maybe we'll ask my personal assistant here to do that. The Google State Department travel STEP.
That's way too many things. You just put STEP in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Hey, you know what today is? It's As Young as You Feel Day. It's also National Water Day. We know it's the International Day of the Seal. It's also National Goof Off Day.
So to let you know, STEP stands for Smart Traveler Enrollment Program.
Oh.
And the website is step.state.gov.
Step.state.gov. Jeez, it sounds like a dance step.
Yes,
Step.
it does. So the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program.
Got it. Wow.
But
Janine, you're so good at what you do. You're so lovely. You're just
oh, Bob, I should come out every day.
Yeah, you're the spring. You're the spring in my year today.
Hey, Bob, just a little heads up for your closing song. If you're going to use the Sting song,
yes,
it is no longer available. Google or YouTube has flagged it.
Oh my God, really?
I can't even play it.
Oh, isn't that funny? Okay, so we'll do days like this.
Janine, we're planning a trip in June to Missouri, and we've been tracking flights through multiple websites, and I never knew about Google Flights. I never even thought about that, but looking at it, and even domestic flights are out of control. It's almost $1,000 for 2 of us to fly from here to St. Louis, where we can, even with the gas prices the way they are, we can drive for a fraction of the price.
Right.
So it's unfortunate.
I guess it depends on how much time you have too.
Right. Exactly. Well, we're heading out for my son's graduation from boot camp.
Isn't that great?
So
great.
I would prefer to fly, but at the price I can't. It's not economically feasible to do for a week.
I'll drive you for
you'll drive for the same price.
Yeah,
you'll drive us crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah. With my driving, I'll drive you crazy.
I heard about your adventures this morning.
Yeah.
So, if people want to travel, I know that they can contact you and where they want to go. Where are you seeing the hotspots in the United States to travel right now? Besides Florida, I know everybody goes to Florida.
So last summer was so super busy in terms of the national parks, Alaska, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I predict it will be the same. I've already seen a lot of demand. People are still staying domestic for travel, but I do think the national parks will be really busy again this year.
Yeah, I know. I belong to a bunch of groups with the Yellowstone groups and stuff like that because I love Yellowstone and I can't wait to get back there. But watching their booking and people saying we can't get a hotel room, we can't get a campsite, we can't get this, we can't get a parking spot, and it's like that's not when I want to go to the national parks. It's like I want to wait for it to calm down. And
well, that's something good to think about because I would be saying, okay, James, let's go out to see Yellowstone. Let's get our tickets and we'll fly into where's it? Wyoming, someplace. Where am I?
There's
flying?
3 or 4 different airports you can fly into.
Yeah. All right, so let's get the tickets and then we'll then do our thing. You get the tickets and you realize there's not even a motel in sight.
Right.
Now I gotta find a tent. And now I got to learn how to do a tent. I don't want to do a tent. I am not going to do a tent. I can't find
Bob,
it.
I can't see you tenting. I might be able to see you glamping, but not tenting.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
very
you can
true.
I can see you glamping too.
Oh yeah, there's a glamp in my future.
Yes,
someplace.
but then they'll shut down the parks because there's too many people in them, and you won't be able to enjoy it. You won't be able. And Janine, have you ever been to Yellowstone?
I have not.
Oh, it's. I'll tell you, I've been 4 times. I can't wait to go back again.
Yeah,
it's just.
I would love to.
And if you can get away from the crowds and stuff like that, it's a beautiful. It's God's country, Because and I didn't learn that until the second time I was out there driving through some of the lesser traveled roads and understanding what they meant by that. It's just some beautiful scenery. You talk about something that is, what did you guys call it? Meditating or mind, mindfulness.
It can get real quiet out there, except for the sounds of nature.
You can get lost into yourself out there, and which is great.
Yeah.
But if you go into where it's so crowded and all the crowds are, then it gets stressful.
Yeah,
And
I
that's-
bet.
Yeah.
I know. Well, in summer, I mean, the kids are on vacation, so
yes,
summer's busy
Yeah.
pretty much everywhere for
Sure.
travel because of that.
I noticed that I was looking to, I was thinking, geez, I want to go to we're talking about, because we were watching Brit television all the time, we want to go to not Cotswolds, we wanted to go to Cornwall. Which is maybe an hour and a half from London or whatever. So I'm looking at VRB&O and all that sort of thing. I was going to rent a house and we got this. I got this big amount of money that on American Express for travel. So one of our tickets will be free, etc. So trying to put it together, and I'm looking, and I noticed that the last week of August was cheaper than the first week of September or something for some reason. And I thought, well, this is, I don't think of the last week. I usually try to book my trips in September, and so by checking those, what's the prices the week before, the week afterward, it really would make a difference. Are we going to Cornwall? Not at the moment. We paid our taxes, and since we sold a house this year, Janine,
don't get them started.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Oh, there it is. That stress, worry, anxiety again. Janine.
Hey, Bob, you're doing that to yourself.
I know I'm doing it to myself. I know it.
It's done.
It's so masochistic, and I gotta take a pill.
Bob,
send me a.
Let it go.
Yeah,
let it go.
Please
Bob.
don't sing that song. That drives me nuts. It would stress me out.
Let it go.
God.
No.
Please, God, no. No. Hey, today is National Goof Off Day. How are you going to goof off today, Janine?
I'm probably not going to goof off.
You're not going to celebrate National Goof Off Day?
No, I have a lot to do. Maybe I'll goof off later on.
All right. What are you going to do to goof off?
I'm not. I've got to work later, so I'm not goofing
There's
off
no
today.
goofing off?
Isn't goof off that stuff, that orange stuff that you use to take off adhesives on things? That's
maybe.
No.
That's goof off.
That's goop off.
No,
goof off.
Oh, good Lord. See what I have to deal with, Janine?
Peter, are you goofing off today? Are you going to goof off at all?
I don't have time for that either. I got meetings tonight. I got a funeral to go to later on. It's going to be a busy day.
Me either. But I got to meditate. That's for sure. But
Bob, meditate on your goofing off.
Now I got to think about making the list stress about winning our contest, which is next. Hey, I'm going to play. Belfast is my favorite movie of the year, and Summer of Soul is my favorite documentary. Incidentally, if you're watching the Academy Awards, I'm going to play from Belfast, the great Van Morrison, Days Like This. And look at donate, volunteer, give some money if you can to the Ukraine, et cetera, et cetera. Bye. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Janine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Janine.
Well, it's not always raining. There'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, There'll be days like this when everything falls into place like the flick of a switch. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this when you don't need to worry. There'll be days like this when no one's in a hurry. There'll be days like this when all the parts of the puzzle start to look like they fit. Then I must remember there'll be days like this when you don't need an answer. There'll be days like this when you don't need a chance. There'll be days like this when you don't get the trade by that old Judas kiss. And I must remember there'll be days like this. When you don't have no freeloaders, I can get their kicks. Well, that's nobody's business. Where did you want to live? Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this when no one steps on my dreams. There'll be days like this. People understand what I mean. There'll be days like this when you ring out the changes about everything is. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Oh, my mama told me, she said, there'll be days like this.